Agefield High rocked the school. Y'all gonna have to wait about 20-30 seconds before I start cussing in here. Okay? I don't know who thought this game was okay. We gonna get into it. Time for our discussion video. We beat the game, and I beat it kind of quick too, which is a good thing. Objectively, the game is ass. Yo, man, these doors are so ass, bro. I'm stuck and I can't get out. I'm stuck behind a fucking door. It's garbage. You shouldn't buy the game. All right, review over. Like, all right. I'm gonna give y'all the specifics though, because somebody need their ass whooped. And here's the thing: it's not that there's nothing good about the game. It's that gameplay, while most of what they did is it's really bad. The person that created the missions, all right, you are one of my elite employees. You have been promoted. So whoever made the missions, you can keep your job. Everybody else is fired.
Hey, dipshit. So you think you can move to my town, come to my school, embarrass me in front of my friends and ruin my party? You're so fucking dead.
The story. Whenever we talk about this stuff, we don't need to talk too much about the story. Very simple. Your name is Sam. You're at a new school. Your mom's a crackhead. Your sister's a crackhead. Your dad went to get milk and never came back. So you're trying to make new friends, make a new impression. The prom's coming up. Things of that sort. That is the long and the short of it. Now, if you are a Bully fan, I hate to say it, because part of what got this game eyes in the first place is the fact that it was called a spiritual successor to Bully. I'm going to tell y'all for the 50th time, and it won't be the last time, that when y'all hear the words spiritual successor associated with an up-and-coming video game, please, that is a major red flag. And it's not to say you shouldn't buy it, because they get me too. Mighty Number 9. Ukulele was actually good. For those that know what those games are. But you got Joe Montana. Ooh, almost said something. But if they don't call this, and I don't think the devs did this, I don't want to blame the company, but the internet, somebody said because we were not getting Bully 2, that this was going to be the closest thing we ever had. So forever and always, you will be associated with that game. A classic. I love Bully. One of the first walkthroughs I did on the channel in 2013, bro. All right. So if this game doesn't have that associated with it, I don't know that it actually gets any eyes on it. So it's a double-edged sword that they're going to have to sit back and enjoy. We about to yap. I don't even know. We're going to be all over the place, okay? This is not a formal video. I got my pen. I got some notes. And we're going to go. So in a lot of ways, when you have a game from the PS2 era, as old as Bully is, there's things that you're able to do and get away with on there that we expect that you'll be a little bit better at today. And I already know some of the comments, because the internet works in talking points, and you already know what to expect. One of the talking points you're most likely going to see, if the person has not typed it already and they should delete this, is, what do you expect a small studio? I expect you to shut your motherfucking mouth. You know how many games we put out made by small studios? We support indie games over on this side. Balatro, however you say that, was made by one person. Cuphead. So it's not, I mean, listen, a product is a product. Your wallet don't care how many people made that shit. I do appreciate that the game is not full price. I think it was a 40 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever. It's basically half the price of a full game. Okay. So I'm not necessarily going to put this in the arena with other full price title. However, the indie scene has gotten so great over the last 10 years, especially in the last 6, because they've carried the entire PS5, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch 2 generation. We start taking these away, it's going to be real rocky out here. Lots of wait times, because the game dev cycles for the games that we wait for on the new consoles are too long. With that being said, I don't want to hear these excuses, bro. Well, let's move past the story and more so into the voice acting. It is really bad, man. The voice acting is really bad, okay? And the thing about it is, the voice acting is bad. The lip syncing some of the worst in gaming ever, in this generation especially. And then there's something about the players' eyes, faces, soulless.
Dude, please stop.
You lost, pussy. Agefield is my town now. Go fuck yourself.
Everybody looked like Five Nights at Freddy animatronics or Chuck E. Cheese from 1991 in the face. Eyes just did nothing. No real facial expressions could really, you couldn't really feel. There was times the players would smile, but that shit would look like, that would look like a robot who, like, in your dreams that you bought from the store and wanted to be a real boy. It was bad, bro. The character models looked a little funny. When I did a reaction video to it, I said that a lot of the kids, especially the girls, I don't know what it is with video games. A lot of the companies, I'm not just gonna say it's them. It happens from like huge studios too. I don't know what it is. They just, a lot of them cannot depict women correctly. And some studios can't do kids either. Like, the kids will be small in stature and voice, but they'll have the face of a guy who's 45 with a family of 6 who's getting ready to go through a divorce and lost everything. And then the women look like one of the homies you went to school with. So this game, they did that. Some of those kids in those classrooms that are supposed to be high school students look like grown, like 40-year-old women.
Country life? Do you think we're some kind of dumb hillbillies or rednecks? Like Chloe?
Shut up, Ashley. Just because you don't have anything in your mouth right now doesn't mean you gotta talk, skank.
Music. I do want to warn people. If you're a streamer, content creator, anything of the sorts, this game does not have a streamer mode. Now, I don't want to be entitled, because a very small percentage of people play video games, and the streamer mode is not necessary. But at the same time, I seen you bitches, maybe not you, but I seen y'all asking for arachnophobia options and all that kind of stuff. Gaming is a selfish hobby, therefore you want things that are going to work for you. That's fine, but I just want to tell people, and I'm not saying they should do anything. I just want to warn you that there is no streamer mode. So if you're going to stream the game, you should be fine streaming it. But if you're going to make YouTube videos, you're going to get hit with copyright claims. So I just want to put that out there. More and more games are starting to add a streamer mode, which is great. One of the big pillars in doing that I distinctly remember is Cyberpunk. But that was back in 2020. So it's been some years. Damn, 6 years. Jesus, Christmas, guys. The music. There's like seemingly like 4 songs that just loop. I cannot confirm nor deny how many songs are in the game, but this fucking rock song that they play it in the trailers, the 2 trailers that came out 4 or 5 months ago, and you're going to hear this song for the entire game. It's going to make you lose your mind. And the thing about the musical cues is they're not always in tune with the vibe of what's going on. Does that make sense? Okay, there's a couple times where I was actually really intrigued by a cutscene, overlooking all the stuff I mentioned earlier with the character models and all that. You get used to it after a while. And if I didn't say, you can still have fun with the game. I actually did have fun with the game. I'm gonna get to that. But there was some like really, like one of the kids went missing. So then when you go to find the person, that's pretty serious because you're running through the woods and nobody knows where they are. And they talked about the person missing in school and cops are kind of looking. You finally find the kid and there's like a great, like the way the cutscene was delivered was good. And then it's like within a second, with no warning, they just start playing out rock music again, bro. They do that shit a bunch of times. They take what should be a serious moment and then they just play that fucking song.
Those are Seth's friends.
Holy hell!
That looks like one of those satanic rituals. Sam, they kidnapped Laura as an offering to the devil. You know, like in the movies.
Yo, listen, I need a timestamp for this. The tone right there was perfect. The scene was set. It was a serious vibe. Next thing you know, they charging me and they got rock music playing. They needed about 8 or 9 more songs to be played. The game is 8 to 12 hours, something like that. And to not have enough songs is really a killer, especially if you're going to keep having me do this. That I'm telling you, that rock song is so prevalent in the game. It's outrageous, bro. Okay. There's also, as you're moving through the towns, the open world, the sound there is quite kind of dead as well. It's not really like a lot of ambience. Now, I'm all about immersion on the game, whether it's on a 2D game, whatever. Sound is a big deal. You only notice it when it's really good or really bad. And there's not really much going on in terms of that. What I did absolutely love, this is a like, is I really miss the days where NPCs would just say random funny shit. And then like those things that they say in the game for years, like you'll never forget them. Like every once in a while, I'll just say random NPC stuff from GTA San Andreas. And the thing is, the people that are walking up and down the street, what they're saying has nothing to do with the game. It's just there. It's funny. They have a lot of that on here, which I could appreciate. And I laughed several times. Again, going back to if you're a content creator, this is perfect for people that are looking to get clips and things to post short form of content, Reels, TikToks, Instagram posts, Facebook, whatever you need. This game will do that. For better, for worse, there's lots of opportunities for that. And I look forward to seeing what was going to happen. Some of it happened because things went wrong on the game mechanically. Some of it happened because things that happened in the story. But it did deliver a lot of that, which is good for content purposes. They tried the bully formula. Somebody's clearly a fan, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Most video games, especially at this point, if you're a fan of gaming and you create games, there's going to be games that inspire you. Therefore, especially if you're making what is a spiritual successor, you're going to have mechanics and gameplay loops from that. And I'm cool with that. So if you play Bully, as far as how the game is structured on the gameplay side, it's kind of very, very similar. Yeah, the class schedule, health and stamina meters. The stamina plays zero factor in the game. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe my stamina got almost low maybe 2 times. I played so many hours in the game and then realized that was actually stamina. It's never going to have a real impact on your game. It's not like the other games you might play where your stamina can mean life or death. You don't have to worry about that. You do have people that are patrolling the school. There's really one prevalent security guard. And there are a little, you know, I'm appreciative of some stuff that they at least thought about. I decided I was going to ride my bike into the school and see what happens. You ride that bike in that school, they're going to chase you up out of it. You ain't allowed to do that shit. Because, you know, the kind of game this was and the way things was playing, I thought I'd be able to ride my damn bike through the hallways and nobody would say anything. So they at least thought of that. What you were kind of looking for is, I know a lot of y'all can understand on the gameplay side and just overall, is there something where things are so bad that they're good? And if you watch hood movies, or if you watch hood movies from the 90s and 2000s, you know exactly what that means. Shit is objectively ass. But it's so ass is good. I don't even know how to display it or how to explain it. You have to experience it to know. If you take shit like The Leprechaun, 3 Strikes, certain movies, bro, they're ass. But they're good. And there's some games that are like that as well. I don't know what it is, but they can get by doing that. So there is a little bit of that it has going for itself, but it depends on your tolerance for that. If you want a game that is objectively well made, do not touch this game. Do not put in your wish list. Do not let anybody tell you to buy this game. But if you just kind of want something that you kind of laugh at, play through kind of like an older story or something like that, this game does offer that for sure. Now, gameplay wise, what I did really, really like is that every mission was not the same. And I actually talked about that as I was doing my walk. Like, you can, there's some stuff where you're sneaking around. There's missions where you have to do stuff at parties. I mean, just a change up of what the scenery looks like when you're doing that, I'm appreciative of, because I kind of never knew what was going to happen. One minute you're sneaking in, you're spray painting people's things, you're breaking stuff. I criticized Ubisoft in the past for this because their old Assassin's Creed games from the old formula, the old format, especially the Ezio trilogy, although you were an assassin, the setups for the missions were different, and they would have masquerade parties and stuff that you had to sneak around, and I really loved that. And somewhere along the lines, Ubisoft got away from that, and it turned into go into a restricted area, go in, get something, kill somebody, or beat people up and leave. And a lot of games do that. And I've played several games, while it may just be a game that you're driving and stuff like that, the format, they keep things fresh. So this game does actually do that with the missions. You don't really do the same thing every time in a row. I will say, though, if you have an issue with fetch quests, which if you have issues with fetch quests, there's a lot of games you probably wouldn't enjoy. This game does do that a lot to you. There's no fast travel on here. And the further you get into the game, the more of the map they kind of open. The map is not huge, and you do have the bike to get around, which I'll talk about that in a second. But sometimes they will make you do that thing where you'll talk to an NPC or you pick up the phone. They tell you to go to an area, get a thing. Then you have to take that thing, go all the way back to where you started, and then they tell you to go back, and then you have to go all the way. Like, there's that kind of thing. You can't, that bloats playtime. In fact, I'll tell you guys, my last episode, I think, was an hour and 40 minutes. I recorded for about 3 hours and 15 minutes. I cut out almost every single time that they asked me to go somewhere, and it only shows you when I got to the destination. Because if you were to take that out, you could probably shrink this playtime by about 4 hours, 3 hours, or something like that. In fact, in terms of the combat on here, it's some of the worst you're ever going to see. It's probably as bad as Ride to Hell Retribution. I'd say it's worse than that, because Ride to Hell Retribution, while it's garbage, you were able to actually shoot people too. But on here, it's really bad. At some point, you'll unlock a bat, and you can just push people and then hit them with bats 3 times, and they all get knocked over. And you can never have to really deviate or stray from that format. The AI is not great at fighting, and neither are you. It's absolute fucking dog shit. Oh, you that Ride to Hell kick? You can just spam this hoe. Oh yeah. We're spamming kicks. The unfortunate thing too is if you have money, you can go to these general stores and buy stuff, and like, you don't really need it. You know what I mean? I bought stuff to throw firecrackers, and I never threw a single one. You don't really need any of that stuff. And unfortunately, the enemies aren't like tiered where they have different fighting styles or anything like that. It's the same shit every time you fight, no matter big, small, boss, no boss, whatever. It's not really a different way that you have to approach these things, unfortunately. And it'd kind of been cool if maybe the enemies maybe had bats of their own, or they had water balloons or something like that, but there is none of that. When you talk about a bully kind of atmosphere on your game, I need water balloons, I need slingshots, I need water guns, I need other cool stuff that was not even in those games, or those kinds of games in this game. And they didn't really do that. I wish they had more than just the bike. I said this when I was playing. If you're a high school kid and we're doing childish shit, there needs to be more, bro. Like, more. We need to be able to prank people and just random stuff. You can't really do any of that, bro. Like, if you're trying to get around, all you have is a bike. They could have had a skateboard you could have bought, and you could have had skates, rollerblades. They could have had scooters, any other number of ways for you to travel around the map. And they only had the bike, which sometimes it's hard to even get to. And I kind of wish they would have just had in your inventory, you could just pull up your skates, rollerblades that you bought with the money you got from but going to school, and then cutting grass and stuff. Like, give you more reasons to spend money. I really get bummed out on games when you have money and either the stuff that you can buy is not really like cool enough, or there's just not much you can have. You just have unlimited money at some point. So this game did do that as well. In terms of the school, let's talk about the school schedule. I ranted about this shit so hard. It's so fucking ass, bro. It's just like Bully. So you do have to go to things at a certain time. If you pull up your map or your class schedule, you have 2 classes a day, Monday through Friday. I think one's at 9. And then you have another one at like 11 or 1 or something like that. You can go to class. You're supposed to be in class. And it's just like, it's so, it does nothing for the game. In fact, the math class was fine. And the English class was fine. English class, they just want you to spell words. So they're going to put words on the screen, and then they're going to leave a couple letters missing, and they want you to pick the right letters to spell the word correctly. In terms of math, you have your, your addition, you have your division, things like that. So much so that I had to actually pull out my notepad and do math on my actual notepad that I take notes on, which is funny. Those weren't too bad. The goddamn German class. Why the fuck would you make a game with German classes? Dude, who speaks German? There's no teaching that's involved. There's no like way to cheat and find an answer bank to get answers. They're just going to quiz you on German words. I could see if we were able to pick our classes, then we could pick the stuff we're interested in, but they don't do any of that. And you're forced to do German if you attend that class. There's that and the music class. The music minigame is dog shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Number one, that rock song that I mentioned like 15 minutes ago plays while you're doing the music class. It's a mini game. It's an attempt at like Rock Band Guitar Hero. A really bad one at that. First of all, why you don't get to use the buttons on your controller in terms of music? Number one, that rock song that I mentioned like 15 minutes ago plays while you're doing the music class. It's a mini game. It's an attempt at like Rock Band Guitar Hero. A really bad one at that. First of all, why you don't get to use the buttons on your controller in rhythm with the game is fucking beyond me. The game forces you to use the directional pad to play the strings. Why? That makes it harder because with the directional pad, you can't really, like, it makes it way harder to push the buttons in succession or push buttons damn near close together. Right? If they would have just gave you A, B, X, and Y, or the PlayStation buttons or whatever, it would have been better. But it made you use a directional pad. That's number one. Number two, the buttons, the notes that come down are not in sync with the song. That would have made it way better. But it's not in sync at all. Garbage, bro. Yo, they should have used buttons for that because then you could push 2 buttons at the same time.
You're making my ears hurt. Are they bleeding?
The side missions, they're what to expect. I mean, The Witcher set a bar for side missions that I'm never going to lower now. The Witcher 3. And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey reached reached that standard for me. So on here, the side quests are pretty simple. I was interested because while, like I said, it's objectively bad, it's still stuff that it's going to have you kind of locked in a little bit. So I wanted to know. There's a couple interesting supporting characters on here. There's a really weird guy who's into conspiracies and aliens and things like that. And you have kids and all that kind of stuff. And I haven't really talked about some of kind of stuff that happens in the story for the missions they want you to do. For example, some of the ways that the game's really funny that'll kind of keep you interested and maybe even finish it is like this one teacher finding a motherfucker ass big than the bitch. You find out at some point that she got some content out there.
Hey, that kid's stealing dirty magazines!
You got Epsteiner teachers in there.
What are you doing here, Mr.
I'm not doing anything.
We know exactly what you're doing. You were stalking teenage girls, weren't you? You pervert!
Kids, everyone has addictions. And if you both tell anyone about mine, I'm going to make your lives a living hell. And who are they going to believe? A teacher? Or some teenage dirtbag?
You had, you can do, there's some stuff, and this is what I'm saying, whoever made the missions, whoever wrote the story, you two guys, y'all did y'all thing. The other people, bro, I don't know what the fuck going on around here. Performance. One of the worst performing games I've played all year. It's an 8 gig file. Well, so what do you expect from an 8 gig file? The same thing I expected from 8 gig files 20 years ago. Yo, I don't care what nobody say. They don't have animations for opening the door, bruh. Dog, the door just opened. Look at this. But the game runs really bad. Incredibly jittery. It makes you feel like the PC that you have that was probably $3,000, $2,000 was $600. I don't know if there's been patches or anything like that. So everything that I say, this is pre-patch. I don't want nobody, because motherfuckers come back to old reviews and they tell you that you're wrong about something that you said, where at that time, that's what the reality was. Final thoughts. It's unfortunate that this is not just this game. The game industry as a whole, even on the AAA side, when there's 1,000 people working on a game, I find, and I've said that a lot of people did more with less. Less tech. Smaller teams. Less resources as far as budgets and talent. They did way more with less. And when you have games that gave you the blueprint already, how could you fuck this up? You will be laughing. This game is going to make you laugh, and it's going to have you gasping at some of the wild shit that goes on here. But there's so much more they could have did with you being a student out of school and being like problematic. You have rivals, you have all these things, you taking people, bitches and all that kind of stuff. You could have did more with that. Like, we could have trolled cheerleaders and we could have did all kind of stuff. Plus, these the grown-ups on this game is freaked out. Boys, I yapped for 30 minutes. I think this is about it. Hope y'all enjoy this. We're all over the place, and we will continue to be all over the place. Unless y'all want me to go back to formal reviews, where it's point by point. But those take forever, and I'm not doing it. All right! Be on the lookout for the other reviews that are like 3 months old. I recorded all of them for Pragmata, whatever, 007, and Pimp My Ride. I did reviews for all of those. I just have to edit those, put those together. Make sure y'all follow me on goddamn Instagram, bro. All right. I will see you guys. We have Overring coming up. We do have a Plague Tale Resonance or a Plague Resonance, whatever this shit's called, the third of Plague Tale game. We have that coming up. I think I might partake in that. I need to do some reaction videos to some of the other stuff for Phantom Blade and thing. I'm actually doing that right now. I got some time. All right. Don't buy this game.
What's the goddamn button?
Push it,